It was a little overwhelming demo day, like you're talking to a lot of different people.
That's where we got into the conversation of the what if people could sample places that they want to live at. What if they could, maybe try something on for a month or for a little time without that fear of they're going to lose their funding, they're going to lose their place.
And that brings us right back to our second problem statement, which was people are making, having to make choices, either families or people we support, without being informed.
This is what you guys are going to be creating over the next 3 weeks, is you're going to be going through processes that kind of look like this, where you do rounds of quite creative idea generation. You guys already have your what if statements, but now those need to kind of come into more concrete forms. We're going to have teams actually pitch their best ideas to a group of us, and those ideas will be either taken forward as a prototype or they'll be put in the idea graveyard because we don't think that actually they're very strategic or very good ideas.
I get stuck with the reality. I get stuck with, I like the idea of the guy living in the dorm, but realistically, who's going to give up his room? How is the guy going to live there? Like, do you know what I mean? I get stuck with that stuff.
Right now,
aren't we coming up with stuff that we actually have to prototype?
I think right now we're going to try to just generate ideas, okay?
Right.
And then after because the generative process is going to help us, and then we'll narrow it down to something that we can do.
Let's start with the individuals who want to try out different living
activities.
situations.
Yeah. What about vacancies in apartments, because it's sitting idle.
So money is a resource.
Money, yes. Money is a resource. And then what about when you look online, the vacation sublets, right?
I want my brain to stop working the way it does, because as soon as I write that, I'm like, that's unsafe. Nobody's.
Well, I know, but we
How
can't
do you
think
vet
about it.
that they're not crazy people?
Yeah, well, we don't know.
I have to change this way of thinking, which is the issue, is I get stuck in it feels like a waste of time to come up with ideas that we know are out in left field, when the chances are it's not going to happen. So why even spend that 5 minutes coming up with that idea when we're just going to throw it away later?
What I'm thinking is, maybe, the idea may be weird, but then we might come up with a kernel of something in that idea that might be worth pursuing.
What about like host families? Like,
host
like
families,
people
a
get
host
billeted?
switch. Yeah,
So not even a paid person.
No, just a host. Yeah. Okay. Intentional roommates too, right?
Some sort of safety net, like a call-in or an on-call system. It provides a short-term living experience.
Provides a short-term living experience, taster,
and home share, with the intention of letting people make more of an informed decision about their housing model. And I think this could happen.
Tell them what you liked. Then you can build on it. We will collect these in here. Why don't we start with you guys?
What if you could just have a taster experience of what home sharing is all about?
So the bigger idea would be that a home share provider was contracted for maybe a year, and they would have potentially 12 different people rotating through their home with a week gap in between.
My wife and I have been talking about doing a home share, but that's a potentially lifelong commitment. Is the thought that if I like it, that I'd be living with that folk?
The way we thought about it originally is it's the taster experience, but when you come out of there, hopefully the person that's living it gets a better sense of what they like and don't like.
I was thinking if you could have more of these people who
Yeah.
are in this role,
Yeah.
then you could allow for that possibility that that relationship click happens, and both people say, hey, we want to do this, and they
Yes.
opt
Yes.
out of that pool,
Yeah.
but there are other people in the pool
That's
who
right.
could continue to play that role.
Yes.
We have tons of home share providers that often sit in our waiting bank for years at a time until we can find an appropriate match, and I know that there's a ton of them that would really enjoy doing something like that. And it would also give the families of folks that are living in group homes and other situations, sort of like you were saying, that taster experience, and then getting familiar with it and comfortable with it and understanding that it can look a million different ways. So I'm sold.